In today's video, we're talking about how to measure internal value.
Value.
Now, this is something you may want to consider if you are part of an organization, B2B SaaS, B2B AI company, and you're part of a team that serves other stakeholders. This is kind of a cool metric you can use to show how much value you're creating. So let's dive into it.
SaaS CMO Pro.
Hey guys, Bill Masitis here, former CMO CRO at Slack, CMO at Zendesk, and SVP Marketing at Salesforce. So today I'm going to be sharing with you guys a metric that I've personally used for myself as well as some other teams that I've been a part of. And the idea here is a lot of times when you're managing a marketing team, you'll have certain teams that have their own internal customers within the organization. So what do I mean by that? Take product marketing. Product marketing for a lot of B2B SaaS companies or AI companies, they have other internal customers within the organization. Product marketing, if you're a product-led growth company, a lot of times they're going to be working really closely with product. They're going to be thinking about the product roadmap, and they're going to be thinking about competitive, and they're going to be thinking about, upcoming launches that are coming out. And they're going to be helping out that product team. On the flip side, a lot of times product marketing will be working with sales. So if you're a sales-led growth company or just have a sales team, product marketing is going to be thinking about, hey, how do I help that sales team out succeed? The first call deck that we're using, helping out with objection handling, helping them out with deal and pricing and packaging. A lot of these different elements, like you're there to support them. You're there to help the sales team out, help the field out.
You can count on us.
If you're in events, again, sales is a big internal customer of what you're doing and how they're leveraging those events. If you're on, the web production team, you have other internal marketing teams that are leveraging you. Maybe you're a front end or designer. You can basically look at this, and a lot of times, even outside marketing, you have all these, teams internally that are helping other teams out, and basically they're customers. And so I was always really shaped on this one because I had early in my career really bad experience where I had a laptop that broke. I had to go into the IT team to fix it. They just were like eating donut. They didn't care. They're like, come back in a week and maybe we'll have fixed it.
You tried turning it off and on again.
And I could just tell they were not looking at any type of internal customer metrics, right? They was not looking at how much value they were creating or how helpful they are or whatever it was, right?
I just don't care.
I started thinking hey, well, can we just formalize this? In a lot of ways, we go out and we ask our customers how much value they're creating. Maybe we use Net Promoter Score, we use other things, but why can't we ask our internal customers? And so what I started doing was I started Salesforce, and I've used this for other teams, is that for my teams that had internal customers, we would just send out a quarterly internal value survey. We would just go hey, how much value did we create for you, right? Score 1 to 5. You could also do other things hey, how helpful were we? How responsive were we? How courteous were we? Whatever it is, right?
Do you mean you care about me?
But the base idea is you just start measuring it, and you get a benchmark. Maybe the first time you do it, this was kind of very controversial when we started, and I was let's just start measuring it. First quarter, first couple quarters, doesn't even matter. You're not going to be judged on that, but let's just see it, right? And let's start to understand, right? And what we saw is some people on the team were super customer centric, right? And they were even internal customers, super helpful and kind and creating a lot of value, and others maybe weren't, right? And that doesn't mean you just get rid of people that aren't. Hey, how can we coach them and help them and figure out strategies to improve? But it was kind of an organizational shift to being more customer centric. Now in this case, I would argue it's more just internally customer centric, but it kind of just helped, I think, a lot of these teams in marketing overall kind of realize that yes, we have external customers are big, but we have internal customers too. And how do we make sure that we have good relationships with them, that we're delivering value, that we're courteous and timely and responsive.
You complete me.
Because I think we've all been there, right? We've all been there where we've worked with another team that just could care less, right? Just they do not care about, helping you, and they're doing their own things and their metric completely differently. And I just that was never a good experience for me. And so I think it's kind of a cool little tool you can use. If you believe in customer centricity in general, you're leading teams, or maybe you're, just manager, maybe you're an individual contributor, and you're just hey, I kind of believe in this. That would be nice if we were kind of looked at that, right? Because I believe in it, and I think I'm doing a really good job delivering this value.
The show's not dead as long as I believe in it.
And then again, once you have it, it's just like any other metric, right? You can standardize it, you can set goals, you can, give bonuses and incentivize people based on if they deliver that. And you kind of notice like a cultural shift to moving in that direction, to becoming more customer responsive. So anyways, that was one thing we did. I'd be curious to hear from you guys. Are there any particular, tricks or metrics that you use to have your teams that served other internal customers become more customer centric, become more responsive? I'd love to hear it. I read through all the comments, and thanks again for joining SaaS CMO Pro.